Hello, everyone. This is Lysander Xanthus, and I'm just doing a quick video about the north and south nodes in your astrological chart. I was just reviewing my charts again, and I was reminded of how important that information is because I also looked over the charts of the people I live with them and a few other people that I know. So it is something that is super important. Hello everyone, welcome. If you haven't, I suggest going to either alabe.com or astro.com and using their free calculator to have your chart done. And those charts will tell you where your true node is. It's referred to as true node or north node alternatively. And it is important because your north node represents it's something like your destiny path, but also the direction in which you are being encouraged to grow and kind of where the forward motion of your spiritual path and your path of personal development is. The south node is the opposite in some ways. It is what you need to release or move away from and where your comfort zone is. So you may be surprised when you look this up. Your south node, for most of us, will describe who you are now and who you've always been in a place that's really comfortable for you. But also represents, at least what I've observed of all the people whose charts I've looked at, is that when you're living really hard in your south node traits, that it's those exact qualities and behaviors that honestly can kind of ruin your life. So that's why I think it is incredibly important to be aware of it so you can make that effort to change and to grow. I'm actually going to show you guys my chart. So a chart looks something like this. Everyone's is different, of course. And to calculate an accurate chart, you need to have for the calculator the exact city and country of your birth, and not just the day, but the exact time. And if you don't know that, look at your birth certificate. I'm going to put the links in the comments to the two websites I suggest, if autocorrect will let me. So I suggest astro.com first. It may take you a minute to figure out where the chart calculator is. If you click the horoscopes tab at the top and then scroll all the way down, it'll be an option like natal chart, ascendant. Click on that and just fill in the chart the way it is. I've used Alabe too, but I've stopped using that one because I like Astro better. But I will put it down there anyway, as it's a bit easier to navigate. I think that's the web address. It's been a really long time since I've been there, so I'm not sure. On your chart, the node will be like a little symbol like that, like the two circles and the arch over it will be your node. South node is not typically noted on the chart. So let's see if I can prop this up. Let's say, for example, your node is here like mine. So north node is here, and wherever your north node is, just draw a straight line across, and that's where your south node is. Whatever sign your north node is in, your south node will always be in the sign directly opposing that sign, because they're supposed to be opposites or polarities. And this is something you can Google pretty easily. So use the chart calculators to find out where your north node is, and just Google north node in whatever sign, like north node Pisces. Of course, if your north node is in Pisces, your south is in Virgo, because they are polarized signs. And so Google will show you a bunch of sites that can tell you all about it. If it's of interest to anyone, at some point I can maybe do, instead of my reading videos for a day, I can do astrology interpretation. I'm by no means an expert. I have a basic understanding. So for example, if anyone actually knew what their nodes were, you could ask me about them right now, but Google is a pretty good resource, to be honest. So it's really important, in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, it's if you only know one thing about your chart, that's the most important thing. Usually everyone knows their sun sign, and in my opinion, I feel like your sun sign is like this much. Like imagine this entire screen was the whole picture of your chart. The sun sign is like this much information, and I actually don't think that it is like all that important. Like for example, if you wanted to know about your destiny path or your career or your compatibility with another person, I wouldn't look at the sun sign. Or if I wanted to even describe you as a person in general, I wouldn't look at your sun sign. I would look at your ascendant, and the progression of your houses would tell me a lot more. So it's worth checking out your chart and getting a basic grasp of what it all means. It's a little ways back, but if you look through the posts on my page, there is a video series. Each video is like 2 or 3 hours long, so it's pretty long, 6-part series of Astrology 101, taught not by me, but by Coach Kyer Carter. It's a pretty straightforward, even though it's so long, it is a pretty straightforward way of learning how to read your own chart. So because the node is about what traits you should be developing and the path you should be going in, it's extremely important to know, because we have to exert effort to go that direction. Otherwise, our south node is default. It's our comfort zone, and those traits are frequently incredibly detrimental to us and our lives when we live too much in them. So please check that out. You may be surprised by what you find, and especially when you're aware of the rest of your chart, it can be very illuminating about your life as a whole and why things you've done or choices you've made have or haven't worked out for you. It's also important, like if you're reading about yourself and another person, to look at that to see if your paths are compatible, or if you it has some bearing on how the two of you will interact with each other, and if you guys can realistically grow in the same direction. So look that up. You're welcome to comment on what you find here or elsewhere on my page. And I will probably be talking about this or other astrology things again, because it's something that I'm actively learning and exploring for myself. So I find it very interesting and beneficial. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys again soon.